everything that we might come to know him. And he bare the sin of many and made intercession for the transgressors. We had a debt of sin that we cannot pay. And he came to pay that debt for us. He gave up his beauty. He took despite and rejection. He took on sorrows. He bore our griefs and carried our sorrows. He was wounded and bruised in our place, chastised where we should have been. The Lord hath laid on him the iniquity of us all. Jesus forsook his life in heaven to bear the punishment of death that you and I deserve. God the Father turned his face away from his Son, hanging on the cross. Matthew, I'm not going to turn there right now for sake of time, but Matthew 27:46. This is a verse where it says that he cried with a loud voice, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, which means, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? Because he is a holy and just God that cannot have sin in his presence. And the answer to that question I asked you earlier, why did God do this for us? Romans 5:8 says, but God commendeth his love toward us, in that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. In John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. What is it in this world that is so precious to you that you will not forsake it for Christ? God loved us so much, he gave his most prized possession for us, and we are so selfish and so prideful that we will not give of ourselves. We will not give our lives to serve him. How deep the Father's love for us. Christ forsook all and gave all, so that you and I may escape hell and live eternally in heaven with him. He paid our debt, a debt that we could never pay on our own. Oh sinner, it's whatever you are holding on to worth more than Jesus' sacrifice to make atonement for your sin. As a Christian, you have trusted him with your soul, but does he sit on the throne of your heart? Have you surrendered to him? Are you prepared to forsake everything for Christ? That's the end of my notes, but all I know to say is God's given me a heart for the lost. He's given me a heavy burden. And all I know to do right now is to trust and obey him. And all I know to do is to try to win souls to Christ, is try to plant that seed. Because Christ loved us so much that he gave his only Son in my place. I can't wrap my head around it. It's too much. Forgive me for crying. I'm not, if you know me well, I'm not an emotional person. But I beg of you, don't leave tonight without accepting Christ as your Savior if you're lost. Wherever you're at, I don't care if you're here, I don't care if you're online. Don't leave without accepting Christ as your Savior. It's not worth it. It's not worth living a life without him. It's not worth going to hell over. Whatever you're holding on to, let it go. Please let it go. It's not worth it. When I got saved, I don't remember much about it. I remember I was at camp. I remember Danny Douglas was the preacher first week. I just remember I knew I needed to get saved. And when I got saved, it felt like this huge burden lifted off me. I didn't even necessarily know I was carrying. But once the Lord convicted me of my sin, I started realizing all what I was carrying around. The Bible's Jesus Christ himself said, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. please think about this message tonight. Whatever you're holding on to, let it go. It's not worth it.